Okay, let's see.
It won't show my video, but it'll show I'm on this thing.
Oh man, we want to see
Wait, but that thing to show my picture never worked.
What?
It never worked.
Never worked. The thing that you tried to show me so I could have my picture up like she has, a little nice picture there. I don't get that. I get nothing. Just so you know.
Well, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you here.
Good news. I fixed the guy from Calendar Wiz, called me. He walked me through it. I can just click on the icon.
You're live.
And
hello, everybody.
Hello,
everybody. Welcome back.
You know we're live because we don't know we're live. So we're back.
I believe that even that if I turn this on and try to turn it on, let's see.
We're trying to help.
We always have technical difficulties, but is it Eliza or Elisa?
It's Eliza.
Okay, Eliza. We're so happy to have Eliza here with us. What we're going to do is we're trying to get Eliza to see her live and in person. Right now, we only have this lovely stoic picture of her. But you know what? I was going to say, if you look on your actual screen, when you see the little camera icon, is there a slash through it?
Let me see. Let me see. It tell me to take a photo, choose photo. I'm going into the place where I set this up, and I should have did that.
That's okay. If you go down to the bottom of if you look at your actual page, and you look at the bottom or the top, depending on what it looks like on your phone, there should be a little miniature camera icon. Looks like a camera.
Let me see. It said take pictures, take photos.
Nope. It just should have the icon that looks like a camera. It looks like a video camera. A little small.
Nope.
Do you see where your mute button is? Do you see where you have a mute button?
Yep, I know that. And I press that button and it say I can turn my camera on or off. And
yes, do that. Turn it on.
Okay, I turned it on, but it's not letting me in for some reason. I think I got something off. Let me go back and head to my lab. This ain't nothing but the devil.
That's okay. We're not gonna let it stop us. We're happy here to have you.
So here's what I want you to do. If you can just mute yourself, I'm gonna kind of set it up, and you could be working through it because I wanted to kind of introduce what we're going to be talking about today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just
she did. She did.
Okay, we're good. So today, first of all, let me just say. It's been great having some time away, but it's wonderful being back. Through this period of time that we took the spring break off, of course, a tremendous amount has happened. I think what is most striking to me and what is going on for me is nearly on a daily basis, sometimes several times a day, people have been reaching out to me from every walk of life, Black people, largely Black men, actually, that have been asking me, that have been literally breaking down around the trial, which I have not watched or listened to at all. I want to be really transparent there. I'm not listening to it. I'm not watching it. I'm not reading about it. But folks have been reaching to me, reaching out to ask, how do you deal with the negativity? How do you deal with the bad news? How do you deal with they're being triggered? They're being re-traumatized. And that's part of the reason why we want to speak tonight and to bring folks in that are on the ground. And Eliza Wesley is one of those people that we will talk about as soon as we can connect her, or not. We'll hear her voice if nothing else. But in between that time, people have been shooting me articles, and there has been an article that was written by Marley Kay. Some of you probably know about it. And I read the article a number of times. It's extraordinarily intense. You can look her up, Marley Kay. She does not mince words in her assessment of where America is right now. And I just wanted to start off by reading a couple of paragraphs that she wrote. It's quite lengthy, and she pretty much covers everything. So I want to start with that. The world is cross-examining white people and white supremacy in America. White supremacy is under examination. White people did that. White rule is under examination. White people have abused that. America's criminal justice system and law and order structures are under examination. White people created and maintain those. Racism and America's racist social order are under examination. The white racist, mostly slaveholding class of founders created that. America's institution of policing, formerly known as slave patrolling and overseeing, is under investigation. White people created it. Inequity, inequality, and unfairness in America are under scrutiny. White people helped to sustain it. The trial of whiteness will end with the verdict, and white people will have to deal with the fallout. It's what happens in all failing states. The ruling class is losing power, and they're doing all they can to pretend nothing is happening. White-run state and local governments all over the country are building escape hatches and developing reinforcements in an effort to prevent the inevitable. But it will not work this time. People of color are also on trial. Derek Chauvin and his Rainbow Coalition of complicit brothers in blue are the epitome of everything wrong with America. Derek Chauvin is presently the representative of white America, but a rainbow of people kneeled on George Floyd's back. White people have created systems that pit us Black and brown folks against one another, against our own interests. For a paycheck and some fringe benefits, white people have trained other people of color to be violent slave patrollers and overseers, police of plantations, communities. And a lot of us can't see the big picture. The career choices of people of color are on trial too. Their anti-Blackness will be examined as well. White everything is on trial. White apathy, callousness, and calculated cruelty of whiteness are on trial. The white smirks, white lying, white denialism, and white power dynamics are on trial. White men in high places are on trial. People of color engaging in gatekeeping on behalf of white people are on trial. The trauma people cause, white people cause, that Black folks live with are under over lifetimes and generations is on trial. And finally, the world is watching this trial and broadcasting it live for their citizens to see. America, in a way, I can't say I've ever seen before. Most first world nations are not only watching, but they have also had journalists here on the ground in America providing insight, nuance, context, and racialized commentary on the cruelty of whiteness and the longstanding imbalance of power over African American communities that white people have yet to come to grips with, let alone change. There's something happening spiritually on the earth that I cannot explain. If you don't have a spirit, or if your spirit is distracted, you're going to miss it. You won't know until it's too late. The least of white folks' worries should be money or property. None of these things will be able to help you when things go bad. And things are going to go bad, honey.
Wow. When I read it, I was like,
yeah. Yeah. And again, it's not for the faint of heart. She uses her own expletives and is straightforward and flat-footed. So don't read it if you're fragile, because she does not mince words. But what I appreciate about this is its global impact. What I appreciate about her is you feel her emotion, you feel her pain, you feel her weariness, as all of us are fearing. And feeling. And one of the things that I wanted to say before we move on is why I am not looking at the trial, why I am not doing that is I have to take care of myself, and I have to be careful not to embroil myself in toxicity. Now, I don't have any real faith in those systems. Can't call it. All I know is it's not over. It's not over no matter what the verdict is, because America is indeed on trial. And what we have to begin to do, and we have to start doing even more intentionally, is protecting ourselves, our families, our communities, our children from this toxicity. Children are responding. Black children are being triggered. They are fearful. They are somehow, we have to begin to protect them. from these things. And that doesn't mean that we are saying and we're pretending that something's not happening, but we have to also recognize that there's a lot of real heaviness here that is harmful. And we have to really be careful around that. But it is a conversation that grown folks need to have. We're going to have that conversation today. I also wanted to say something that never occurred to me is that Wellness Wednesdays, we're actually going to do some things for children, but I would not even expose children to Wellness Wednesdays that are under 12 because of the content here. Again, we don't try to script what anyone says, and we want to just be careful to make certain that we are not causing injury. So those of you that have children that are parents or have some responsibility, please just make a note of that. Now, we will also let you know about some of the things that are coming down the pipe that are going to be for children, younger and older. So I just wanted to start by saying that, and welcome back, and thank you for being patient and staying with us. All right.
Hello, Eliza. Nice to see you.
Yes, we see you.
Nice to see you guys too. What a great introduction. I tell you, that truly was a blessing.
I would love it if you would introduce yourself and tell the people who you are.
My name is Eliza Wesley. I am the gatekeeper at the George Floyd Square. Was one of the first Black African American women to be at the George Floyd Square to patrol traffic, to stop the traffic from coming into the square. And so that's who I am. I'm the gatekeeper at the George Floyd Square.
How has that been for you? And what made you decide to do that? What made you think it was your responsibility?
Can we tell people where the square is in case people don't know?
The square is in the heart of the town on 38th and Chicago Avenue South, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Okay.
Known as the blood game, but I got it known as the Jesus game. And so how I started out there when George Floyd got killed, that disturbed me. It did something to me. And so when George Floyd got killed, I went down on Lake Street for about a whole week to try to help de-escalate situation fuzz as people's burning up the town on East Lake Street, 7 blocks over and 8 blocks down from the George Floyd Square. And so when I took care of all that, went home. And so I thought my assignment was over. And the Lord told me that Saturday morning, I need you to get up and go to Chicago. And I'm like, Chicago? Knowing what I'm walking into in that zone. You know, you got to know what you're walking into when you walk into it. And so the Lord said, you is equipped. I call you out because you is equipped to do the assignment. And so I'm like, what is it for me to do there? Get up, you'll find out. It just was a sports in me. So I got up and I drove to 8th Street. I drove to 37 to Chicago. And so it was just chaotic. It was just people driving through the streets. It was just unbelievable. And so I got out of my car and I'm like, okay, Lord, you sent me here. And I'm going to do your will now. You saying you're going to protect me. You got me. So I got out the car and started standing in the middle of the streets. There was cars coming through, all type of traffic. And I began standing in the middle of the streets and stopping the cars and would let the people come through the George Floyd Square. It wasn't even called the George Floyd Square at that time. George got killed that. And so me working out there every day and doing what I was doing. And so the city came along and they started putting barricades because they seen the people that was out there and their body was out there. And it was cars flying, going through the streets and stuff, and protesters come down. It was just thousands of people. And people was about to get hit and stuff. So I stood out there. And I stood out there for 30 whole days without no barricades. It was 30 whole days. And so I still stayed out there. I didn't even have no connection with the Baja. I didn't even, I wasn't even, my mind wasn't even on no buildings or nothing. My mind was just out there coming to do the work for the Lord. But God sent me on assignment. And when God sent you on assignment, you got to do the assignment, you know. And so they was wondering, like, who this lady is. This lady's crazy. This lady's out here. She just ain't just not caring, just out here and stuff. So the Baja began to ask who I was. And I explained to him who I was, that God sent me out here. And so I built a report with the well-known peoples that peoples are afraid of, but God had me walking through the peoples and walking through the streets, and I felt no evil nowhere where I went. And so I was walking everywhere I walked, God just opening doors. I mean, it was nowhere like I was trade over serpents. You know, I was walking on serpents. And God just let me walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I would feel no evil. And I walked that walk.
All right.
And it's been rough.
Yeah.
I can imagine. I mean, I think what's amazing about making that decision, and what I think is really hard for us as parents, and trying to model the importance of following your gut and your heart and your spirit in terms of doing things on the side of justice. When it comes to justice, there can be no justice for George Floyd or his family. There can't be any. So it's just an opportunity to do what is right at this point. There's no justice possible. So I think the reason why I'm not watching is, one, I can't take the trauma. I have to keep my heart light enough to continue to spread joy, because we deserve it as people.
Sure.
And to look at someone like you, who brave, woke up with something in her heart and her spirit and said, I'm going to do something. And so few people do that. And so few people know what to do. You had a very clear directive, and you moved and you took it. And that is going to inspire and give so many people hope, because you are willing to put some piece of you on the line because of what happened to Mr. Floyd. And I think that is the thing. I mean, I'm so happy that you decided to join us today. I'm really honored that you're here. And I respect you so much. My heart has been so heavy lately because, you know, to look into the eyes of my children, to continue to try to be light into them when the world does not value them, when there's no magic button I can give them to keep them safe or to make them important. I was interviewed by this newscaster who I run a program for Black families. They want to know, what are Black families thinking? And he got emotional because he said, you know, when I turned on the news this morning, it was the first day of the trial. He said, and they played that 9 minutes, you know, and he started to get teary eyed. And I was just kind of blinking at him like Dora, you know, the explorer. I was just like, well, no one is surprised. And overt racism has to happen in order for people to feel something. It has to be so extreme in order for white people to feel something. You know, and I said, nobody is surprised. You know, nobody is, and we're just waiting. We're waiting right now to see if maybe this time they'll do the right thing. But there's not a lot of confidence there. So we have to almost cautiously and be cautiously optimistic about what could happen. And in the meantime, continue to buffer our families and our friends and our children with so much love and joy about, we have to restore them, because nothing outside of us will do that. So I thank you.
The other piece, and again, you know, when Saida, actually, you're in my class, right? You've joined aren't you in my online class? Yeah, I think you are in my online class. I think you're signed up for it. You haven't showed up yet, but you're signed up for my class. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I'm gonna be. Yes, I'm gonna be in the class.
Like, wait a minute now.
No.
Wrong, Eliza.
I got your name on. I got the list right here.
Yes,
You got your name.
I'm excited. Speak about in that class, right? And a lot of stuff in that class. I'm gonna need that in that class,
Yeah.
and so I know this is an opportunity from God, because I don't communicate with peoples about the things that's happening.
Mhm.
I don't communicate about the feelings of how I feel that's
Sure.
happening.
Mhm.
I haven't been able to communicate. So there will be a lot of things that I will be exposing to you guys that I haven't exposed to anybody.
Sure.
So it's a very class that I need for support and healing.
Absolutely. And
You know,
that's what it's designed for.
yes. And my mother died 3 weeks ago,
Ooh,
and
sorry.
um, I'm out here back in the field
Sure.
because I know that to be absent from the body is to be present with God. And I know that my mother know that I'm the type of child that God always brought me to be the sacrificial one of things that's always happening in life. I'm a kidney donor, so live kidney donor. So
Mm.
my life,
Wow.
it belongs to the Lord.
Mm.
It belongs to God. It don't belongs to me. And so I explain to people that the Bible said, "What man will lay his life down for his sister and brother?" He's not talking about just laying down. He's talking about the sacrifices of your life. What can you do?
That's
Mhm.
right.
And so this is me. You
Mhm.
know, um, I want to be like Jesus.
Mm.
Mhm.
He walked the streets, the highways, and byways, and that's what I'm doing. Um, I have a lot of tragedy had been out there into the square. Um, I have walked in bullets or people shooting bullets to save other people's life. Didn't think about my life.
Mm.
Um, I have been on that block to minister to the young men that had nobody rich yet. And I'm the only somebody can reach these men. And so it's a lot on my plate. It's a lot, a very lot. And
But you need some arms around you too.
Absolutely.
You need some arms around you too. And that's the good news. The good news and what I feel encouraged about is that there are people from every walk. I'm looking at people who are leaning into this from wherever they are, from wherever they are, and from various backgrounds, from all that are saying, wait a minute, I need to show up for this. I don't even know how to completely show up, but I know I need to show up for this because this is a pregnant time. We're living in a pregnant time. What it will give birth to, we all got to sit and wait. But it is pregnant time and everyone can feel it. And that is what I think that I'm feeling reverberating everywhere I go. There is this, and especially with the pupil of the eye. Refer to Black people as the pupil of the eye, that Black that sees and beholds the light before it. And so Black people, every age, they are feeling it.
Mhm.
And so I think what I'm appreciating is that there are people that are just abandoning their fear. They're abandoning even sometimes their upbringing. And it doesn't matter that we don't agree on everything, right?
Right.
It doesn't matter that we're in different lanes, but get in a lane, for God's sake, get in a lane and do something. And so, when I found out you were going to be in my course, and I don't know, Bahia, if you can pull up the picture of the article.
Okay, I'm gonna try to look for it really quick.
I'm gonna see if you can pull up that article, which I just looked at the picture and was toe up. I looked at the picture and realizing, I said, here is this my sister that is standing here by herself, but not by herself. Of course, you got the whole holy concourse with you.
it's God is with me.
That's right. That's right.
A lot of weight on my shoulders out there.
Yeah.
And everybody depend on the gatekeeper. That means from the whites
I'm
to
gonna
the
try to pull
black.
it up real quick. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick.
Just a second. We want to show the audience the
Can you
picture.
see it?
This is the picture. It says, I'm confident justice will be served, said Eliza Wesley, who has been taking care of George Floyd Square. That is Eliza in front of that incredible mural behind her, surrounded by flowers. And when I saw that, it just, and knowing that you were guarding that space, and and if you could speak to a little, because in the article, it talked about some of the concerns of folks that may not want to do good there. And if you could speak to a little of some of that, that's part of the reason why you're in that square and you're protecting it.
The part of not being good is, like I said, once again, the game banks.
Sure.
Nobody know how to go and communicate with the game banks. And I am able to walk up to those guys and speak gentle. And God have gave me the ability to connect.
Hmm.
And so even that the people's that's older generation than me, they can't tap in and connect with that young guys. I told them that God brought me to be the birther. With women's, we birth. We birth. And so God called me to come out there and birth. And so my goal is to change the young brother's heart out there, change the things that they done went through in life, give them opportunities, give them chances. Also, my goal is to let the white supremacists know that this is real. This is real. This is, we done had so many races in our life. I come from a racist background. I'm from Mississippi. And so Minnesota is like a facade to me. Mississippi is still racist. And like I told them, us Black people, we are not racist. We are prejudice. Y'all are racist, but we are prejudice people because y'all put that inside of us. And I also let them know that they respect me because I am who I am. I let them know that I'm not here for to be your friend. I'm not your friend. We're going to make this clear. I am here because my spirit man like you, but my natural man don't care nothing about you.
Well, there you go.
Yes, there's no. I'm glad you cleared that up. Just tell them how you really feel.
That's called make it plain.
Make it plain.
Yeah, to make it plain. Sometimes.
But you know what, though? But you know what? There's a lot of people in the chat who are saying that they appreciate you, that they are inspired by you. And again, we sit here and we talk about the things that we hold as important, right? There's so many things that people think are so important about, what they're trying on a day to day. They're on a grind to I don't know, to get some sort of recognition from really honestly white systems, white people, for them achieving what they're supposed to achieve. Like that is the standard for what we're supposed to achieve. And the idea, I don't know your work. I don't know your background. I don't know. I know you are a powerful woman who got up one morning and said, I have a job to do. I don't know what that meant, the sacrifices you had to make with where your work or your family, but we recognize that there are sacrifices that you are making every day that you are there, and that you have no idea the waves of inspiration and love that are coming to you because of what you are doing. And if that is not living your life by what you've been called to do, I don't know what is. You know what I'm saying?
And it's such a powerful testimony. It's your ministry. It is clearly your ministry. And I think that, again, when we look at who we are and what we can do, there's a story of a woman who never ever taught anybody about God. She never, she just would work hard. And the people that would go out and deliver the message, wherever she was, she would wash their clothes. and she would darn their socks if there were holes in them. She would feed them.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, there was a testimony of her greatness because that was her service, you see. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, we don't see people. I often talk to people about that story in Africa where, and it's a story that transformed me. It was an experience that transformed me because I had my whole life been wanting to go to Africa to touch the soil of something other than my American a toxic land. I wanted to be there. So when I got there, I'm in South Africa right after the inauguration of Nelson Mandela. I am full emotionally. And when people are talking to me, you got to understand, they're speaking to me from, different languages, right? They would speak to me, but the language, no matter what the tribal language was, when they would see us, there was 9 of us, and they would see us, they would say, I see you. Mm-hmm. I see you. And there was this moment where, for me, of course, I would cry profusely. I would be tore up and cry. The people with me that were in the group with me, they were done with me. They were saying, because every time you cry, everyone would gather and sing. And they would start singing. And if you've heard South African singing, there's just nothing like it, right? 4-part harmony. They're singing until you stop crying. Nobody gives you a tissue. They just sing. And then after they sing, they also want you to sing a few songs as well. And unfortunately, I can't sing. Let's just make that plain. I can't sing. So the women that were with me started getting a little tired because they were doing a lot of singing. So we get to this place. We're in Lesotho. We're in Lesotho. That's where we are. And my sister and my niece have traveled with me among these 9 women. And they had gotten up early to talk about me, right? Because I was asleep. But they got together and they said, okay, they got my sister and they said, you have to talk to Joy. Okay, because we're going to Lesotho. And we're not singing. Okay, in Lesotho. That's what they thought. So when I woke up with my sister. My sister is literally sitting next to me, waiting for me to wake up. And I wake up and I look at her. She goes, Joy, we're going to Lesotho today. I said, yeah, I know we're going to Lesotho. She goes, we're not singing in Lesotho. So whatever you need to do to keep yourself together, you need to keep yourself together because we're not singing in Lesotho. So I'm like, when Black women give you that side eye, so they would give me the side eye. So we get to Lesotho. And I'm all, I'm prepared. I said, I'm a grown woman. Don't talking crazy to me. So I get in there and this was a huge auditorium, like, 600-700 people. I'm saying maybe even more than that. And there were people from every walk of life. You had people from the government, people from the ministry, people from tribes far away, all over the place. You had people from, just everywhere. Everybody was there. So I was very excited. We were all warmly received. And what happens is the gentleman who starts introducing us introduces me first. So he says, okay, I come up and I say, hello, my name is Joy. He translates everything. I'm traveling with 8 other African-American women. We're here to build a corridor, a connection with our African sisters. Not much. Thank you for inviting. Just sat on down. No tears, no singing. I'm thinking, good. I'm good. So he starts going on and on. And then he starts going on and on and on. Then the people start clapping. Then they start chanting and they start stamping their feet. So I look at him and I said, what did you say? He said, well, I was translating what you said. And I said, I know how to say all that. I know how to say all that. So he goes, no. What happened was when I got to the part where I said African Americans, a lot of people here are from very, very remote villages and they thought all Americans were white. And so then I had to explain to them that you were the descendants of the ones that had been stolen away. And they were saying to you, welcome home, welcome home. And of course, I'm tore up. So I'm crying. My sister's looking at me going, I can't believe she did it again. She did it again. Whole audience is on their feet. Everybody's singing, right? So, and all the women are looking at me like, So what happens is while I'm trying to pull myself together, and there's a woman in the back of the auditorium that's making her way to me. She makes her way all the way to me and she grabs me by the hand and she said, did you think we would forget you?
Mhm.
She says, I am from Lesotho, and Lesotho is my home. If I leave Lesotho, Lesotho is still my home. If I leave Lesotho for 50 years, Lesotho is still my home.
Mhm.
She said, we mourned Martin with you, and we mourned Malcolm. She says, we are so very proud of you. You are African, 300 years from home. We just wondered when you were coming back.
Mm.
It was, I cannot, even now, you know, I can see this woman's face. She actually studied in the United States. But at that moment, it was a baptism, a spiritual baptism. It was a moment of clarity and normalcy and love and fitting. I fit somewhere. I fit. And it was I'd never felt that way before. A room full of people, half of them can't even speak the language, that are saying to me, welcome home, welcome home. And I'm thinking, my God, everyone should feel this. How is it that we can live our whole lives being ignored?
But we can
Mm.
feel it, Mom. We can. And that's the thing that I think that what we have to talk to people about is reclaiming that. When we look at Miss Eliza and we say, okay, you have made this choice to step out here on faith, to fight the good fight, to connect with people who no one wants to connect with, right? You're doing the same thing when you're talking to these young boys and men that no one else can connect to. You're saying, I see you, and it doesn't have to be this way. I see more than what you've been doing. When I look at you, I see more than what you're showing is possible for you. And sometimes people have lived their whole life without people saying that you're welcome here. And what I think, and I would just tell you, you know, I was doing a group for a group of employees of color. And this white guy infiltrated the group. He decided to show up. And what's so funny is that I think he thought we were going to have this kind of white hate group. We're talking about white people. And when we got the whole group of all the employees of color in this very, very white county, right, employees, I said, this is going to be a love fest. We're not going to, this unique time that we have together, we're not going to spend that time talking about white people or what white people have done or how frustrated we are with white people. We have this unique opportunity to be together. So all I want us to do is focus on what we have right here. What do we have right here? What sustains you? Who holds you up? And if no one's holding you up, how do we hold you up, right? And so at first people were like, well, I guess I wish I had. Not what you wish you had. What do you have right now that is sustaining you? So then people started going, well, wait a minute. I get to say some stuff. Hold on. So then all of a sudden one woman was like, I like being a chola. I want to draw my eyebrows on. She started going, like, I love to talk. And then all of a sudden people were talking about their food and their family and how they build things. And we were ignoring the little white guy who infiltrated the space because it wasn't about him. It was about everything that we had. And I told him, I said, you know what, I'm by myself. If I see one Asian person or one Latino person, you're my people. In that moment, you are my people, right? Mm-hmm. We have that. We have the ability to do that in the face of white supremacy and systemic racism and otherism and exclusion. We have the ability to do that. And so it's so important that we do that for each other. So I look at you, Miss Eliza, and I say, okay, you're doing all this amazing stuff, but you are also in need of community, of people, women, men, mothers, fathers, children who say, we're going to lift you up too, Miss Eliza.
That's right.
And how do we show you, how do we let you rest with us? Right? Because you are welcome. And so how do we do that? And so I think we need to talk more about how we do that for each other. You know, how do we create space where we are saying welcome home in my space, on my screen, in my school, with my food? You know, how do we do that? And that is what I think is key in the midst of everything going on. And while we wait, we are watching, wait, but we're not holding our breath for things to be transformed. We are watching and waiting to see if this one time you take this opportunity to do the right thing. But even if you don't, our survival and our greatness has never been dependent on whether or not people let us in the door. Right? We'll kick that shit in. Let's be clear. So at the end of the day, I feel like that's what we need to do. We need to talk to people like, this is my challenge to everyone engaged here, is to think about And I love it. Dr. Ruha Benjamin says, talking about beaming light and love into one another. What is you're doing that for those young men, right? People call them gang members. They're young men who happen to be participating in some maybe unsavory activity, but they themselves are not gang members. That's not who they are. There's some people call it low income communities. What low income people? Nobody's a low income person. Okay.
Yeah.
The idea of, you know what I'm saying? So we have to start shifting how we look at each other, how we talk about each other, how we look at each other with, they have potential, they have promise.
Very
Right? They haven't reached their full potential, but you are beaming those possibilities into them. So how do we beam into you?
And doing it in a way where they can hear you. You know, they can hear you, and there's a reason why they can hear you, and there's a reason why they can trust you. You're going into witness protection.
I know you're getting dark. It's getting dark in there. Like, wait,
it's turned into nighttime wherever
you're outside. You're in the car, right? So you gotta maybe turn your dome light on or something because you're trying to keep your identity secret from us.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
There you go. You're back.
I'm not trying to keep my identity secret. You know, I tell people all the time that when you're doing the work for the Lord, you don't have to hide because God protects you.
There you go.
And so my work is bigger than me. You know, he put me out there, and I know that the work that he got me out there because that's the purpose that he wanted me to be. And also, I am really the mother of the block, but I'm the gatekeeper because that goes for white, black, blue, green. If anything happens, everybody runs to the gatekeeper because the gatekeeper can come and resolve issues that other peoples can't resolve, even with the white peoples. And so I started the peoples to pray out there. When we have meetings at 8:00, and we have meetings at 8:00 at night, and we have meetings at 7 o'clock in the evening. And so they know that when you leave this meeting, you have to breathe in, you have to breathe out. You have to take your mind back and relax that mind. And so when we leave the meeting, you got to pray. I started that. It's a must, especially with, I don't communicate with the trial. I don't want to communicate with the trial because God don't want me in the altar confusion with the trial. And so I got to keep my mind clear, and I got to keep my mind focused where I won't deal with the negativities.
Right.
Because the negativity could bring harm. And so God don't want me to bring harm to me. He want to cover me. And so I don't talk about that trial. I don't let them even talk about the trial in the square. They're not allowed to. So like I said, I'm really, I got many plates and many shoes that I'm wearing out there. And that's because God gave them to me. And if he didn't want me to do those things, he wouldn't allow that door to be open. So the door is open, and I'm allowing God to walk me through. When I get up in the morning, it's like, Lord, I'm trusting you and believing you. He tells me if you get up and walk the walk, then I'll lead you and I'll guide you. I anoint myself with oil every day before I go out there. That's right. You know, because I'm on a spiritual battle.
There you go.
So let me ask you a question. Are there ways that people can support this effort?
Yes.
Are there ways? What is it that you need to continue to help you do what you do?
I mean, like I tell people, you know, whatever people want to pour into me, they pour into me because the simple fact is that Jesus said, let your light be shine in your walk. And if people want to do something for you, they're going to do it. I'm about the only person that I don't do the TV things. I shut that down. I don't do I want to be seen. No. I don't do that. And so now they trying to force me and push me when you need to. No. The movement is whatever God has for me is for me.
Right.
And whatever God want me to do, I'm going to do it. So I don't have to be on the front line. I don't have to be seen because God said he will let your good be spoken of among to men to see your good work. And so God is seeing my good work. And so the labor of love that what I have for God is given to his people. And so when I come out, the people be like clapping hands, gatekeeper. Everybody old, young, depends on the gatekeeper, because it's the spirit man that's inside of me that makes the difference. And so I tell people, I'm more of a spiritual woman than a natural. I've been to the natural realm, and God took me out the pit.
I know about that. Wait a minute.
Uh-oh. I can hear her.
And like I tell people
again,
for just a second.
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to say too, you know, my husband and I were talking today, just today, you know, because he's the one that keeps up with what's going on. I don't know that he's not listening to the trial, but you know, he's a computer guy, so he's always on the computer, and he'll tell me, he'll say, "You want to know? I got a little bit of something you want me to tell you." Usually I say no. And today, you know, we went to pick up some food, and we live in Georgia, and we go to pick up some food. And so we get in there. Everybody knows me for this statement. I love my people. There ain't nobody on the planet like us. Do you hear what I'm saying? There ain't nobody on the planet. And I love me some Black people. And, you know, and what I mean by that is we're the salt of the earth.
Yes.
I look at Black people, and so we walk in this restaurant, and the moment you walk in, people said, "How you doing?" "I'm good. I'm blessed." You know, everybody starts talking. Nobody knows anybody. We must have been in there 2 hours before we got our food. I think the man went and bought the food, you know, and cooked it, and, you know, the whole time. But the whole time we're talking about children. We're talking about how we love our children. A woman was talking about how the school was treating her son, and the woman to my right was talking about how her parents were educators, but they also marched with Martin Luther King, and how she just learned about Mahalia Jackson. This is a conversation we're having, and the man who's cooking the food, he literally is the only one there in the whole restaurant. He got to come out, talk to you, then he go back in and he cooks. So we were there this whole time, but when we came out, there was this. What I don't understand, and you know it, we all know it here, that there is this sweetness about Black people. There is this joy, there is this laughter, there is this, you know,
it's alive. And that's the thing, is that you can't go somewhere where Black people are and not feel alive. And that's what people want to be connected to. You know, when the little newscaster guy I told you was like, "What do you tell Black children?" And I was like, you know, I think resilience gets too much credit. We don't need to keep talking about how you keep trying to kill us and we don't die. I'm tired of you guys being like, "I'm so glad y'all just so strong, you don't die. We just keep trying to kill you." I'm like, how about you stop trying to kill us? Dang it. Yeah, how about that? But I do think that what's cool is, and so he says to me, so I used to keep telling Black children the truth about who they are, so that they don't keep by the lie. You have to keep telling them how amazing and brilliant and creative and how innovative, and how anything that we touch, we make it different. We're going to ice skate, we're going to make it different. We're going to play football, we're going to do it different. We're going to do science, we're going to do it different. We're going to make some.
When we walk, okay. You know, when I was in Africa, do you know that they would stop? We were in a mall. Now there's 9 African-American women in this huge mall. And all of a sudden we turned around and everyone had turned and looked at us.
Because we walk different. We walk
differently. You're right. And they knew it just because we actually move differently, right? So they knew we weren't African. And it was so amazing to me, you know, and what my husband and I were saying, and what I was trying to get to, is that you have these lies that are being said, right? We're dangerous, we're violent, we're ignorant, we're all of this stuff that you hear people say. I'm going, you don't know Black people. I don't know. You must not know Black people, not like anybody in anywhere. We got crazy folk, we got smart folk, we got folk you need to get away from.
We let everybody in. Well, listen, I always say this. Rachel Dolezal could have succeeded. She could have succeeded in pretending to be Black if she just shut up. It was her whiteness that got her caught up. There are so many Black people who don't look Black. And we go, "You say you Black? You want to be with us? Come be with us." She could have married her a little Black man and had little Black children, and nobody would have bothered her. But because of her whiteness, she had to say, "I can do Black better than them." So because I'm better than the Black people at being Black, now I got to start the column. Now I got to be the president of the NAACP. Now I got to create fake racial profiling situations. That's how she got caught. Because again,
That's right.
everybody wants to be us, except for they don't. It's like, I want to have everything you got, but not be you. I want to be tanned. I want to have lips. I want to lock my hair. I want to do. My friend is her father's from Sierra Leone. She goes to the Mac counter, and the lady comes over to her and she goes, "Ooh, look at your lips. You've got those Kylie Jenner lips. You got those Kylie Jenner lips." She said, "What? No, these lips are from Africa." First of all, how are you going to tell the African woman that her lips are like the injected lips of a white woman?
Come on now.
So no. One little girl came to me and saw some Bantu knots and said, "Oh, look, the Miley knots," as in Miley Cyrus when she decided to do some knots. Do you hear what I'm saying? So for me, it's reclaiming. We talked about the Black aesthetic. We talked about all the different ways that we've been robbed. It is re-educating ourselves to how brilliant and amazing we are, and saying, "Oh, all the inventions that everybody benefits from, like these little white kids I work with all the time about Black inventors, they're blown away."
Yes.
A Black person did this or created this, or even we were cracking up because what's his name? Louboutin, the shoes, the guy, he found out he was half Ethiopian recently. I'm like, everybody you guys think is so dope ends up being Black somehow. Sorry. Some little piece of, and I'm like, you give us this much.
My daughter is a little biased. Just
maybe. I'm sorry though. Every day that I go out and I go, and what shocks me is when it's like a new notion. Like, it's, look, we create. No. We've been doing that, right? And the thing I think about it is, even though everything isn't great that's Black, okay? Every culture.
Black cowboys. Do you see? You guys got to see that.
I saw Concrete Cowboy. It was good. Concrete Cowboy. You know?
Yeah.
It was good. We watched it last night. Very good. It's Idris Elba and the little boy from Stranger Things. I forget.
But what was so wonderful about it is that they also, and what I'm loving about these folks that are showing up on screen, artists, musicians, everybody, again, in their lane. And they started talking about it. In the end, they have, no spoiler, but in the end, they have the...
Don't tell the end.
Okay, all right.
In the end, no spoiler. That's a spoiler.
All right. So I'm just saying
what happened at the end
is they are talking about real people and real stuff. They're talking about real Black cowboys, right? Mm-hmm. And that whole history that's been erased. And people don't even realize. So it's almost as though, America has been so good at fabricating a lie. Nobody contributed to the building of this place, and nobody participated. And of course, my grandmother used to say, everything in the dark is going to come
to the light.
Everything in the dark coming to the light. And that's what's happening now. And that's why that sister wrote that piece about America is on trial.
Well, and that's what the guy even said to me. He said, "What do we tell white children?" I said, "The truth." I said, "Here's the deal." I said, "I want you to play a game with your son." Because he's like, but he was really emotional. I said, "I want you to play a game with your son." I said, "Tell your son, we're going to do noticings and wonderings. We're going to watch commercials and we'll go, I noticed this is geared towards who? If you see a Pantene commercial that says, do you want to have flowing, shiny hair that moves? We all do. Okay, I want you to switch that up and say, do you want to have thick, coarse hair that you can't run your fingers through?
Natural.
We all do. Right? Of course you do. You want because and I said, I want you to start doing that with him about his story problems at school. I want you to start doing with him around who's being picked to be the lunch line leader and the captain and the class manager. I said, in that way, after a while, he starts to realize the truth that everything is built for him. And so when the Black little kids get together to have something, or the Latinos get together to have something, he doesn't go, that's not fair. How come I can't go to that? Because he realizes then everything is for me. So shut up. Shut up and don't bother my children with your feeling like it's unfair, because it's always been unfair for you, to your advantage. And he goes, everything's for you. So again, we started Black Family Night, people complaining, this is segregation. Every other night is white family night. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
So again, I think that at the end of the day, part of what we have to do in the midst of all this crazy is we have to do this. We have to talk about how much we love one another, how great it is. I don't care if for 1 hour we get to say Black is beautiful, all things Black are amazing, because it's only for 1 hour. We go back to a regular scheduled hate on Black people programming, which is what everything else says. We can spend this 1 hour saying Black is beautiful and amazing and light and beauty and creativity and all things wonderful for an hour. That's a regular scheduled program.
What's amazing about what you're saying, but here, oh, I'm sorry. Did you have something, Liza? Go ahead.
And that's what we do at the square. We let them know this is not about white supremacists right now. This not white supremacists now. This is about Black community.
That's right.
We're talking about Black community, you know, and it's like I'm really some serious out there. Really.
Well, Simon said that you also have a food pantry that I know that Oneness works with you, and they created a food pantry to help you with some of the work that you're doing. Is that right? You need some support for the food pantry.
Yes.
We just want to make sure we plug what
happened was it started with I was getting it for out, you know, for Black people. But anyway, we turned into the community because I strongly believe that this is a village, and it takes a community to raise the village.
Yeah.
Black. And so we turned into a segregation thing. And so what happened was when they first started, they was, you know, when George Floyd died, people was just pouring stuff. They just was, I mean, the rich white people was just like, if you asked them for that flower off their head, they probably took that flower and gave it to you off their head. They would have, you know, just, it was pouring. And so we was doing our giving out hygienes and all this stuff. And at first I seen how the people was just grabbing stuff and just being rude to the and I came and stepped in and stopped it. I'm like, hey, you know, we can't do this. We got to do this about order. And so then we took it inside. And so we turned to the Baja Center. I'm the only Black woman that ever been into the Baja Center as community. I mean, you know, for us as out there, you know. And so I think I'm the only Black woman in Minneapolis that they gave a key to their building. You know, when you make an impact, I thought God opened doors that a man say you can't get, but God opened the doors and say you can.
That's right. That's right.
And so we got a food chef giving out to the community. We give out food, we give out hygiene. I don't have a certain day that I give to people. So if somebody walk to me and say, hey, I need this and that, hold on, wait a minute, I'm going out there and I'm gonna go get it for you. You know, we have certain days that we give out stuff, Pampers, food. It's really getting to be big. I got all type of organizations coming to me for us as kids programs. I mean, when I say God opened a door there, it have tremendous been adored there. And I even got the city, you know, I can't even, all my praises go to God, all of it.
Okay, yes, and to you, because you are listening and doing what you're supposed to do. So to that end, I have to insist, do you have an email? Do you have a GoFundMe? Where can people direct money and resources to what you are doing?
My email is eliza.pryor@gmail.com.
Okay.
My Venmo is
all right. Chat. I don't even know what that is.
What's your Venmo?
My Venmo is gatekeeper Eliza Wesley.
Okay, gatekeeper
Eliza Wesley.
Okay.
Now my Cash App, this is gonna blow you mad. My Cash App is Pastor Eliza, because I am a pastor.
All right. We can put that in there too.
That's I'm gonna let me say something, y'all. I've been sitting on my ministry for people been trying to pull me out and just, go into churches and ministry and just trying to get me to go out before it was my time.
Mm-hmm.
And God had always told me, when it's your season and your time, you would know.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go, your fruit or your labor would not be in vain.
Mm.
And so been years and decades that people been trying to put me on the forefront with churches.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't do it.
Well, everything, church isn't always got to be a place. You're creating the ministry. You are the church, right? Exactly.
There you go.
I am the church. I'm the church. I'm the church.
There you go.
He got all he wants is a vessel.
That's right.
He told Peter, upon this rock I build my church.
And so
right.
I'm that vessel. And I tell people I am Peter at times,
Well, listen, we are actually at time, but I want to say this. We salute you. We are praying for you. We are your sisters. If you need to be filled up and you feel depleted, you please reach out to us. We will fill you up as much as we can. If you need us, we're here for you, because we need people like you who will listen to their heart and their spirit and do what's right, even when it's hard.
That's right.
And so we just want to lift you up. I know you're not a person who likes a lot of praise, but let's give us this opportunity to praise you and the work that you are doing. We are your sisters, and we are here for you. And we put your Cash App and your Venmo in the chat. Hopefully you get some love to support what you are doing. And also for you to go take a spa day. I just need you to go and take some time. Just not the whole day, because I know you got to get back to where you got to go, but maybe just a massage for your feet out there walking the walk. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. It's like when it's like if I'm not there, and I know I can't do it all, but life on me out there. Lives. And it's all life now that depends on me because of the work. And I tell God that you said you wouldn't put no more on me than I can bear. That's right. And I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to keep striving. And I need this. What we doing, I need this. Yeah. I need this support. I need this to carry me on. I need to have somebody to have the strength to carry me on and push me on. Right. It makes a difference when you have that support.
Yes. So we're here for you. We are here for you.
We got you. And I will see you in class.
Yeah. That's right. Come to class. We'll see you in class.
Live class. I
am. I will be on class.
I know you
will be on class.
It's been so nice.
I don't got boundaries.
We explore the culturally relevant boundaries. We don't have to white boundaries. We have some black boundaries. But anyway, it's been lovely. We got to go. Yeah. Listen, Saida has all our info. You call us if you need us. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, and we're both therapists. You might just need to call and vent sometimes when the folks get on your nerves. So
I need it. All
right, we're here for you.
And Eliza, Bahia is a board member of Organic Oneness. So you're connected to her in a lot of ways now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I de-escalated some situations out there when I got back. It's like, man, it's a never stop job.
Yeah. It's you never off. So let us know, because we want to let you, we can't let you go down. The whole ship go down if the gatekeeper goes down. So let us know how we can keep you afloat, okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Love you guys. Appreciate
you too. Bye. So thank you so much.
Yes.
Bye, everybody. We're happy to be back, and we'll try to keep bringing you love and light and beam some light into somebody. That's what everybody needs to be doing.
Get folks up and stay away from that. That
don't inundate yourself with the negative if you can,
and protect your children from it.
Yeah.
Yes. We love you all.
Love you guys.
Bye. Have a blessed night.
See you next Wednesday.
Yes, next Wednesday.
All right. Bye.
same time, same place.
That's right.
Right. Bye, everybody.
All right.
Bye.
Oh, that was a blessing, man, God.